Hello and welcome. Today we are going to learn CRR. CRR means Cross-Region Replication Facility of S3. We can say that this is a magical facility from S3 because with CRR, whatever the data that you are storing inside one bucket will be replicated to another bucket in another region automatically. Very interesting, and there are lots of questions related to exam as well. So let's start. As always, we are going to start with the introduction of CRR. Here it is the introduction. CRR automatically replicates every object uploaded to S3 bucket to the destination bucket in the different region. Here we are going with the theory and practical together. So inside S3 console, I have two buckets. There is a bucket named source-in which is in Asia Pacific Mumbai, and there is another bucket destination-US which is in US East and Virginia. Now, if I am going to set up CRR between source-in and destination-US, whatever I will store inside this particular bucket in India going to replicate automatically with a destination bucket in US. Okay, and the whole process will be automatic as well. Now you may have this question that okay, we understood that how this CRR is actually working, but what are the requirements of this? Here, the first requirement, this helps in maintaining the data redundancy and disaster recovery. The best disaster recovery option we have to have duplicate copy of data. Here we have data stored in a redundant location. We have our data in India, we have offsite backup in US as well. So we can use this data during the disaster recovery option. Another advantage of CRR is CRR can help you to meet the compliance requirement to reduce latency by keeping data closer to the users in the different geographic area. For many businesses, it is compliance requirement to store your data into the offsite location. For example, in the banking, they have this kind of rule. They have to store data offsite. You can store your data in another country as well if you are using CRR. Another advantage is to provide low latency access to our user. Let's say that I have 70% users from India, but 30% user I am getting from the US as well. Now, when US people is going to access bucket objects from US to India, definitely they have high level of latency. But if I am replicating this data from India to US, now when US people are going to access this, they are going to access this from US location and they will get low latency access. So here we have dual advantage. We are fulfilling the compliance requirement and also providing low latency access to our customers. Now, let's talk about how CRR works. So here it is trigger. When the new object is created or an existing object is modified in the source bucket, S3 detects the changes. First of all, S3 CRR is one-way process. Whatever you are going to upload inside source-in bucket, it is going to replicate to the destination-US. If you modify existing object or if you upload new object, it will automatically replicate because this is the way CRR is actually triggered. Then it will start replication. S3 automatically replicate the object including metadata and object tags to the destination bucket in another region. Of course, the region must be different because CRR itself is saying it is a cross-region replication. Storage class. Now this is the one of the most important part because when you are going to replicate this data, you have option to change the storage class. For India, you may store this data into the standard storage and you will access this frequently. But if the data is replicated to US, you want to store them into the standard infrequent access because from US you are not accessing it frequently. So this is like one of the huge money saving process as well. So it is not only replicating the data. If you want to change the replication data class, you can also do this. Now, let's understand the prerequisites like how you can enable this. So, of course, if you want to enable a cross-region replication, you must have source bucket and destination bucket. Yes, these two buckets must be in the different region. Another requirement is to have versioning enabled. Now keep this in mind. They're asking this question in exam. If you want to enable CRR, you must have versioning enabled in the source and destination bucket both. Without versioning, you cannot enable CRR. Now, if you go to my bucket, I don't have versioning enabled in any of this bucket, no in the source nor in the destination. Look at this, but no need to worry about this. When we will enable CRR rule, it will enable versioning as well. And the last, we must have IAM role. So an IAM role must be created with necessary permission to perform the replication. The IAM role should have policy that allow it read from the source bucket and write from the destination bucket. In order to perform this operation, we have to create IAM role. We don't need to worry about this because AWS having this facility to create IAM role automatically. So now we are going to set up our CRR rule, and these are the 4 points that we need to understand while we are setting up our CRR. So let's jump into this. Now to set up the CRR, first of all, you need to go to the source bucket. So here it is my bucket source-in, and you have to go to the management. Now here we have this particular option known as replication rules, and we have to set up replication rules. So let me click on create replication rule. As I enable this from the source bucket, so system AWS S3 automatically find out that in the source-in bucket you don't have versioning enabled, and CRR rule cannot be enabled without versioning. So do you want to enable this? I said yes, enable. So now versioning enabled on the source bucket. Here I am giving name rule 1. You can give any name, it is up to you. Status enable. If you want to pause your replication process in the future, you can disable this as well, but let's enable it by default. Now here it is my source bucket. Now this is another question they are asking. Do you want to replicate all the objects inside the bucket, or you want to replicate specific bucket objects? If you want to replicate specific bucket object, you can use prefix or tags, and based on this you can enable replication rule, but right now I am going to say apply to all the objects in bucket. So I have this source-in bucket, and whatever I will store inside this bucket, it is going to replicate with the destination. Now here I have to choose destination. Destination can be from your own account, or it can be from other account as well. If you want to store data into the another AWS account, you have to get account ID that you will get from here. So you have to ask to another AWS account holder that please provide me your account ID. But right now we want to make it very simple, so I am going to say that destination bucket is also inside my own AWS account. Now here it is asking me to choose your AWS destination S3 destination bucket. So browse, and here it is a destination-US. Again, it is giving me this error message that you don't have versioning enabled. So I am going to enable this for the destination bucket as well. Then it is all about IAM role. I already explained you about the use case of IAM role, and here we have this facility that we can choose this particular option that create new role. Then it is about encryption. If you want different encryption at the destination bucket, you can also choose this. By default, whatever the data that you are storing inside AWS S3, they are actually encrypted using SSE-S3. If you want to change encryption, and if you want to use SSE-KMS, you can select this and you can choose this. But we don't want to go with this. We will go with the default encryption option. Then we have destination storage class. As I explained you earlier that if you want to change the storage class, you can change this as well. So here we have this facility to change storage class for our replicated object. Let's say that if I am going to choose standard IA from here, whatever our data we have inside any storage class in the source, when it will go to the destination, it will be in the standard infrequent. Right now I don't want to choose this, so I am not going to select this. Now these 4 options are the most important part of our journey, because if somebody wants to ask question, there is a scope from these 4 questions they are going to ask. Okay. Another thing that I want to tell you, see, if I am going to select RTC, it is also selecting replication matrix. Okay. So there is you can choose replication metric alone, but RTC will provide you replication matrix options together. Okay, so let's understand all these 4 options properly, because you may get question about this. So here we have RTC. RTC means replication time control. You can enable this and you can disable this. By default it is disabled. So sorry, I know that you want to watch full video, but full video is now not available on YouTube. If you want to watch full video, I want you to go to our website. When you will go to our website, you will find out our course 100 Days YouTube Challenge. I want you to enroll for this course by paying only 499 rupees for lifetime if you are from India. If you are from outside of India, you just need to pay $7 US. Once you will enroll to this course, you are going to get all full videos over there on our portal. You are also going to get certificate after completing the course, and we have just uploaded 120 videos. We are going to upload another 120 videos as well. So there will be total 240 videos. I hope we are going to meet inside the class. Thank you very much.